Hey everyone, it's Daniel here from etfs. Hope you're all doing well. So let's talk about Jerome Powell, right? The FOMC meeting that just happened a couple days back here in May. And we saw Jerome Powell came in, signal a pause through the statement, which made market participants happy. However, had a hawkish press conference. So you could summarize the whole event as a hawkish pause. Now, when I look at the press conference and I hear what Jerome Powell talked about, yes, he is signaling some sort of pause there and has opened the door for a pause, but he has not shut the door for more rate hikes and more tightening and higher for longer narrative. And he said that, right? He said that in the meeting that, the committee, we have not decided on any pause. We will be talking about it for the next meeting. But the door is still open for, I'm just paraphrasing here, and I'm not saying, these are not his exact words. But he basically said, there can be possibility of more rates depending on the data. So it's going to be data dependent. So he left the door open, right? He didn't come out and say, okay, we're done. This is it, guys. This is the pause. We are no longer need to raise rates, right? Now, if Jerome Powell is going to pause and he feels there's no need to raise more rates, what would be the reason to do so? Well, if I think just out of what's happening right now in the news with the regional banks, issues with liquidity, or I should say the walk on the banks, right? We're seeing that a lot of the money is being transferred out very quickly, and the banks can't handle that. And if there's other problems that could cascade into other areas and cause a really, really bad, hard landing, then you're going to get a move from Jerome Powell, especially if he sees something, really exacerbating. Now, is Jerome Powell the one to kind of, be a step ahead before things break? Well, what we're seeing right now is that's not true. We're not seeing him so proactive in making steps to, stop, let's say, interest rates from, getting worse off, right? And let me explain here too. Let's go back to when inflation in 2021 kept going up and up and up, and Jerome Powell kept saying it's transitory, and was too late to the party, right? And this is how the Fed is. The Fed, central banks are always late to the party. So what makes you think that this time they're going to be early to the party? What makes you think that this time they're going to do the right thing? In fact, I see the Fed over-tightening, has already over-tightened and continue to probably over-tighten. And in fact, I think we're probably, not going to get a rate cut or maybe even get a pause until something really, really breaks. So until something really, really breaks, I think that then you'll get a move from the Fed to, to act in a certain way and assess the situation. Now, they probably won't hike rates. They'll probably pause and see when things are breaking and then see, okay, let's monitor this break that's happening for another couple of days or weeks. And if it's really something that cascades and gets bigger and bigger, then yes, you can get the Fed to come in and start doing emergency cuts like we saw in previous recessions and like we saw during COVID, that the Fed had to come in and step in because the Fed, Jerome Powell, was really worried about the COVID situation. So can we see Jerome Powell this time be proactive? I don't think so. And I think they're going to be late to the party. I think they're going to over tighten. I think that, there is a possibility, even though that everyone's expecting a pause, I think there's a 50-50 chance of a rate hike for the next meeting. And I think if data still is hot, I think they could go for a rate hike next meeting and then continue to say, we're data dependent. We're data dependent. Maybe the pause may come later on, or maybe not. All right. And the probabilities of rate hikes and rate cuts will change very fast, depending on, again, the data and what comes out in terms of this whole economy, whether it's breaking or not. So overall, how I took Jerome Powell's meeting is that, one, you better be really careful of what's to come down the road in the economy, because the committee and Powell himself seems he's very, very adamant in bringing inflation down. And when he received questions about, certain projections, about, the other committee members, he made it very clear that his opinion is this, and the opinions of the others, the other members, is so and so. And that there's a difference that, hey, they, certain members may think X, but I think like this, right? And the reason he's emphasizing on that is because what he went through in 2021 is that he was convinced by a lot of the committee members that inflation was going to be transitory, and it completely made him look really bad in front of everyone. So he doesn't want to do that again. And that's why he's ready. And that's why, especially in 2022, in August, in Jackson Hole, he talked and said that pain is expected to come for households and businesses. We're expected to see pain for the households and businesses, and this is the unfortunate cost of trying to bring inflation down. So he's been saying this, been very adamant, bringing inflation down, and I've been saying this for a very long time. He's going to do that by engineering a hard landing recession. Even though he says the banking sector is safe and we're getting a soft landing, no, we're not. It's all false. I do not believe in that. I believe that we are going to get a hard landing and things are going to get really ugly really soon. And he's going to keep things tight and he's going to overdo it. And people are going to expect the cut is coming. You're going to get probabilities. The probabilities are going to be all over the place. The markets are going to be all over the place. That, oh, we're getting the cut. We're getting the cut. We're getting the cut. And then Powell will probably disappoint until he realizes that, okay, we broke something, and again, we messed up like we did over and over again, like we tend to do over and over again. The Fed's always late and always messes up. And then they will come back and they will say, okay, time to cut rates. And then that's when you can get aggressive rate cuts. But until then, forget about it. You're not going to get the rate cuts anytime soon until something breaks. And I think the Fed's going to continue to keep things tight. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the like button, bell icon to be notified on the next video. And I'll see you guys around. Cheers. Bye.